That giant always-on TV in your living room is quietly acting like a spy computer, and I'll show you how to stop it. Your TV isn't just a screen. It runs an operating system, installs apps, listens for voice commands, and phones home with your viewing habits. Manufacturers built convenience first and security last. That combination turns a familiar piece of furniture into a ripe target for automated attacks and privacy snoops. Over the next dozen minutes, I'll pull apart what smart TVs do behind the scenes and then walk you through simple fixes you can apply tonight. Think of a smart TV as a tiny desktop computer stapled to a giant glass. It runs Android TV, Web OS, Tizen, or Roku software. Those stacks include browsers, media decoders, Bluetooth stacks, and voice services, each a potential bug. Because vendors chase speed and ad revenue, updates lag and default settings stay lax. That makes TVs easy targets for automated scans that look for old firmware or open ports. Next, we'll map the exact attack surface so you know where the doors are. Here's a surprising stat. Many smart TVs stay partially connected even in standby. They keep network radios active for updates or remote wake features. That means they can be probed while you sleep. Attackers exploit weak defaults, stale firmware, and unused services like DLNA or UPnP to get a foothold. Once inside, a compromised TV blends in because it rarely crashes or shows obvious symptoms. But there are clear warning signs you can watch for. Smart TVs love data. Many use automatic content recognition, or ACR, to scan what's playing on screen. That data, what you watch, how long, input source, gets sent to manufacturers or advertisers. Voice commands and app telemetry add more signals, and identifiers can be stitched together to profile you across devices. This tracking funds cheap hardware business models. Later, I'll show concrete menu names to disable this data flow on popular brands, so your viewing stays private. Real attacks have happened. Remember Weeping Angel? Researchers showed a tool that could enable covert listening on certain TV models. Other research has demonstrated broadcast-based hacks that require no home network access, and insecure devices frequently get swept into botnets for DDoS attacks. These aren't sci-fi scenarios. They're documented cases that expose common flaws. Knowing how real hackers operate helps you pick the right defenses. Next, I'll break down the riskiest parts of your TV setup you should fix first. Not all parts of your TV matter equally. Focus on vulnerable firmware, side-loaded apps, always-on mics and cameras, and weak router settings. Ads and embedded web content add another attack vector. Every extra service, Bluetooth, screen mirroring, remote control APIs, adds another door to jiggle. Attackers prefer silent footholds, so they often leave a compromised TV behaving normally. The next scene shows what an attacker can actually do once they're inside your TV. If an attacker controls your TV, they can do more than change channels. They can turn on microphones or cameras, harvest and sell viewing profiles, inject phishing overlays inside apps, or install adware that fills your screen with scams. They can also pivot to other devices on your network, probe your laptop, or add your TV to a botnet. These actions are stealthy and automated. But before you panic, there are simple, high-impact defenses that cut most attacks off at the pass. First big win, network separation. Treat your TV like an appliance, not a trusted computer. Put it on a guest Wi-Fi or a dedicated IoT VLAN. Use WPA3 or at least WPA2 with a long, unique password. Disable UPnP and WPS on the router unless you need them. Consider a privacy DNS such as NextDNS or Cloudflare family to block trackers and malicious domains. I'll show exact router settings to change in a moment so you can lock the door from the network side. Second quick win, update your TV and apps. Firmware patches close known flaws. Enable auto updates when possible. Also audit your installed apps. Uninstall what you don't use. Avoid beta features unless you're comfortable with instability. If your TV doesn't get frequent updates, consider plugging in a separate streaming stick that receives patches faster. We'll compare update cadences across platforms later, and I'll recommend specific devices if you're buying new. Third, turn off ACR and add personalization. Manufacturers bury these settings under names like viewing data, live plus, interest-based ads, or privacy choices. Disable them. On Samsung, look under advertising or privacy. On LG, Check user agreements and advertising. On Roku, use privacy settings. Turning these off stops your TV from sending a continuous stream of viewing signals to advertisers. I'll list exact menu paths from major brands in the description and on screen after this scene. Microphones and cameras are high-risk hardware. If your remote has a mic, mute it or disable voice services. If the TV has a camera, use a physical cover or tape when it's unused. Hardware switches beat software toggles because they cut power to sensors. If privacy matters a lot to you, unplug the TV or put it on a smart plug that physically cuts power. Later, I'll show budget privacy hacks you can implement this evening without specialty tools. Passwords and accounts are another easy win. Use a password manager to create unique passwords for each streaming account and enable two-factor authentication where available. Sign out of old devices and remove unused linked accounts. If someone steals your streaming credentials, they can access payment info or even install apps remotely on connected platforms. These steps slow attackers and make recovery easier. Next, I'll show how to reduce the TV's overall attack surface by switching off unused services. Mid-video recap. The main risks are outdated firmware, data-hungry tracking, open network paths, and always-on sensors. The quick wins are network segmentation, updates, disabling ACR, muting cameras, and stronger passwords. Those steps stop most attacks without breaking your streaming habit. But if you want deeper protection, there are optional advanced measures that tech-savvy viewers can apply. Stick around. I'll walk through DNS filtering, VLANs, egress rules, and traffic monitoring next. Advanced Option 1. DNS-based blocking. Services like NextDNS or a local Pi-hole can block tracker domains and known malware, stopping telemetry at the network level. Pi-hole is a small server you run on your LAN that filters DNS queries. NextDNS gives a managed cloud option with easy rules. Both reduce data leakage without tinkering with every device. I'll explain simple rule examples and what to watch for when you first enable blocking so nothing critical breaks. Advanced Option 2. Network segmentation and egress filtering. Put IoT devices on their own VLAN so they can't talk to your laptops. On compatible routers, create firewall rules to block the TV from reaching suspicious domains or restrict it to essential update servers. Egress filtering reduces the chance a compromised TV pivots deeper into your home network. If that sounds scary, many modern consumer routers offer simplified guest network controls that achieve much of the benefit with far less fuss. Advanced Option 3. Monitor traffic. Some routers show which domains each device contacts and how much data they transfer. Unusual spikes from your TV can indicate unwanted uploads or bot activity. You can also use third-party tools to log DNS queries. If you see a TV calling strange domains, quarantine it and run updates or a factory reset. Monitoring isn't mandatory for everyone, but it gives early warning that something is amiss. Next, we'll cover when it makes sense to use a separate streaming device. Consider treating the TV as a dumb display and use a separate streaming stick or box. Streaming devices often get faster updates and are easy to replace. You can power cycle them quickly or unplug them when not in use. That limits the attack surface of the TV itself. But streaming sticks also collect data by default, so you'll need to tweak their privacy settings too. I'll recommend models with good update records and show which settings to change on each one next. Sideloading apps is tempting, but it's risky. APKs from forums or file-sharing sites are a common malware vector. Stick to official app stores and only install what you genuinely use. On Android TV, disable unknown sources. Review app permissions regularly and revoke anything unnecessary. If an app asks for a microphone or camera when it doesn't need one, that's a red flag. Next, we'll cover power and habit changes that protect you when privacy matters most. Power matters. Many TVs keep network connections in standby. If you want real privacy, unplug the TV or use a smart plug that cuts power when you're done. Some streaming sticks power down fully when the TV is off if they draw from the TV's USB port. Small habit changes, like turning off the TV completely at night, eliminate invisible listening and network leakage. There are easy tools to automate this. I'll show 2 practical setups you can build for under $50. Buying advice. Check independent privacy ratings and update commitments before you buy. Avoid built-in cameras if you don't need video calls. Prefer brands that publish update timelines and have accessible privacy controls. If you're happy with picture but not the smart features, buy a dumb display and attach a secure streaming device. I'll name a few models and features to look for in the video description and explain the small trade-offs worth making for better security. Quick myths check. No, unused smart features don't make you safe. Bots scan automatically. Incognito won't stop ACR. Turning off the TV might not disconnect its network radios. These misconceptions lead people to skip simple protections. The right combination of network hygiene, firmware updates, and privacy settings prevents most problems without wrecking your streaming experience. I'll wrap this up with a practical checklist you can follow in under 20 minutes. Final checklist you can run through now. Move the TV to a guest or IoT network. Enable firmware and app updates. Disable ACR and add personalization. Mute or cover mics and cameras. Use unique passwords and 2FA. Uninstall unused apps. Disable unnecessary radios. And consider a privacy DNS or Pi-hole. Revisit settings after major updates and glance at your router's connected devices regularly. Follow these steps and you'll block the most common TV threats without giving up Netflix night. If you suspect compromise, power cycle the TV, disconnect it from the network, check for unknown apps, factory reset if needed, change streaming and router passwords, and update firmware. If odd network traffic continues, quarantine the device on the router and consider replacing the TV's smart functions with a secure streaming box. Prevention is cheaper and easier than cleanup, but these recovery steps will help you regain control quickly and safely. Last thought, security is a set of small habits. You don't need to be an expert to make meaningful improvements. Start with network separation and disabling ACR, then add updates, camera covers, and stronger passwords. If you want to harden further, try DNS filtering or VLANs. These measures protect your privacy and reduce the chance your TV becomes a silent spying tool. Ready to lock yours down? Start with the first 2 steps on the checklist and you'll already be much safer. If this helped, hit like and subscribe for more practical privacy guides. Comment which TV brand you have and I'll point you to the right settings to change.